Hello, everybody. It's Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's doing really well out there and avoiding Mercury and retrograde and all of its ridiculousness. So, it's been kind of crazy here, but for the most part, it seems to kind of be simmering down a little bit. But you know how Mercury is. Just when you think things are quieting down, something else erupts and happens, right? So here's hoping it's a nice and quiet Mercury in retrograde, but I'm not really counting on it. We're coming up on the eclipse season that I believe is coming into place April 6th or April 8th. I can't remember the exact date, but it is coming up very, very soon. So we're entering into eclipse season, which is always eventful and crazy. So we're going to be in eclipse season with Mercury in retrograde, which is like not fun, but it is what it is. So today's video is a little bit of a crazy one. Okay, first I'll tell the story behind it. So the Pagan and Otherworlds came out, I believe, in 2015, if I'm remembering correctly. And back in those days, I was like obsessed with Pinterest, and it was so difficult to get decks in Canada at that point that it was like never going to happen, right? That was right at the beginning of when you needed to have like certain things in place to be able to purchase online, that it wasn't that simple, and everybody was always freaking out about purchasing online and getting ripped off, and didn't trust it and didn't want to do it. So people didn't do it, right? It wasn't a thing. I kept seeing pictures of it all over Pinterest, and I would save them all the time, and I was just blown away by the artwork, and I had never seen anything like it, and it was so earthy and so pagan, right? I mean, obviously the name is Pagan in Otherworlds, and it was phenomenal. And I wanted it so bad, but I didn't have a way of getting it. And the time kind of floated by and years piled up. And it was always on my list. It was always on my list. It was always something I wanted to gain or add into my collection, but it just never happened until now. I've been trying to decide what decks from Uusi I wanted and which ones I wanted and which ones I didn't. I passed up the Kickstarter Lux, which I am kicking myself so hard right now for passing that one up. I don't know what was wrong with me. Obviously, I had a moment of stupidity. So that kind of led me, because I really regretted it, that kind of led me to their website where I was like, okay, it's time. Like, I need to get some of these decks in my life. Every time I see people taking pictures of them, every time I see people talking about them, I'm just like, why do I not own these? Things are different nowadays. It's still difficult to get things across the border. It really honestly is. For us Canadians, we have to pay the exchange rate on top of duties. Sometimes stuff doesn't show up. Sometimes it gets lost along the way. It can be quite disastrous, right? So it's a headache to get things across the border, honestly. Even when it comes to my business stuff, like to get stuff across the border for Indigo Moon is insane. Like, it's so difficult and it's not an easy thing to do. And that's why I only ship in Canada right now, because I put so much work effort to get all of these decks or different things here, that to then just pack them up and send them back over the border is kind of like, it's repetitive. It's not really, it doesn't make any sense, especially when we are lack of these things in Canada. Like, there's just not a whole heck of a lot of this stuff available to us. So I really honestly was on the fence about purchasing just their full package that came with like everything that they had at this moment in time, that is like their regular produced items, right? But when I put in like the exchange rate and then shipping and then what I would get dinged with duties, I was like, I just can't expend that amount. Like, it's insane. So they ended up posting that they had a couple more of the Eros available. And I tried to grab one, but I was working that morning and I just couldn't get to it in time. And then by the time I was able to get to it, it was completely sold out. So that was a no-go for me too. So I was just kind of reaching like roadblocks, right? So then the one day I was just kind of cruising on the internet, checking things out, and this small little bookstore in BC popped up. And they had all three of the decks available at a good price. So I jumped on it because I don't have to worry about exchange. I don't have to worry about duty fees, and it's supporting a Canadian company. And I was like, hell's yeah, like I'm on that. So I ended up doing a great big huge order, and it showed up today. So I know most of you have already seen these decks or even own them, but I have not gotten to experience them. So this is kind of like my first experience. Well, not kind of, most definitely is my first experience with Uusi. So let's check it out and see what I got. I couldn't pass it up, so I just grabbed it all. And I'm really excited. So I'm going to get in and I'm going to open this. And I know to not break the seal. So if I can find where this begins. Should begin somewhere. There we go. And I'm sure there's a million videos on these and all of that jazz. But like I said, I've never experienced them, so I'm pumped. All right, let me get some of this stuff out of the way. We'll just put it off to the side here. Wow. Beautiful. It smells like ugh. I know the smell, but I can't like think of I don't want to damage anything. I can't think of the smell. It's like a incense of some sorts. So this is a 2016, or at least that's what it says on the box. So it must have come out in 2016. Man, like look at the box. Details, beautiful. All right, here it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is like so surreal to me because this was one of the decks that it spoke volumes to me, and I always just kind of like didn't look at, like I didn't end up getting it until now, and I don't even have a reason. So we've got the secret card. Ooh, we got moon cycles that are sparkly. Beautiful. All right, and then we've got the Fool. Amazing card stock, like just no playing games, right? Wow. I feel like saying like, where has this been all my life? So beautiful. So obviously this is going to be a lengthy video. If you're not into looking at all three of the Uusi decks with books, this might not be the video for you. And of course I'm going to gush and be all crazy over it because these are long overdue to be in my collection. And I feel like I kind of already know these cards because I've seen them in so many people's pictures and like posts and different things, but to see them in person, like that devil card, like man, The illustrations are amazing. I think it was the death card that I kept seeing on Pinterest many, many, many years ago. And it's Pippish, right? So I'm not going to spend 2 tons of time on it. Oh, it's so earthy. I like that it's like Pips, but like lightly illustrated, right? Oh, this is going to shuffle like a dream. Page, Knight, Queen, King. Interesting how it starts with the Pentacles. And then we go into the Wands, the King of Wands, Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands, Page of Wands. Just all your beautiful wands. Gorgeous. I'm a sucker for like moons with like faces. Oh, look at him. King of Swords, Queen of Swords, Knight of Swords, Page of Swords. These are so beautiful. I can't even believe it's taken this long for them to even make it here to me. I guess it's just it's time when it's time, right? Like, and that's what I believe with tarot. Like there's some decks that you're just like, really? You don't have that? Yeah, no, I don't. Not right now, but I do now. Like I feel like it's just they come into our lives when it's time for them to come into our lives. All right, so there's that one. Let's take a look at the book. Sorry, that might have been really loud in the mic. All right, straighten out my little carpet here. It's flying around all over the place. So they give like your keywords. They give a little bit of like who it is and who they draw, like who's in the illustration. Really nice paper quality. I really like it. And talks about all of that stuff. Interesting. The Seeker card. A little bit of a write-up on it. Oh, they go into the Moon cards. Perfect. Really, honestly, not much more you need. I really like the quality of the materials that they've used. It feels really nice in your hands. And I like that. I like that it has all that information. It's a beautiful book. All right, let's check out, I think it's Materia Prima? Materia Prima. Raw material, I believe, is what we translate that to. Ooh, I almost broke the seal. Joking. I did not. I know, to not break the seals. Everybody makes a big deal about it. Wow. Sorry, I'm caught in like the embossing, like the details in the box. It's beautiful. Did everybody? So in my last video, you would see that I talked about like working with like alchemy and like the metals and materials and all that different stuff. And I ended up not connecting with the Kim Cran's alchemy deck. It didn't do it for me. I'm still trying to work with it. I'm not like I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it didn't really spark anything for me. So I got this one in hopes that this one now will kind of, maybe this one will, right? Because it's like your metals, your materials, like all your elements, different things like that, from what I'm understanding. All right, let's take a look at it. So we got hydrogen, helium, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. Oh, that's a beautiful card, neon. Aluminum, silicon, green, calcium. Love that it has a shell. Magnesium. I want to say magnesium. Manganese. I don't know. If I'm butchering some of these, I'm sorry. Selenium. Rhodium. I like the little gold details in the cards. Very classic looking, very clean looking. Same card stock as Pagan in the Otherworlds. And like I said, I'm sure everybody has seen these. I'm kind of late to the party, right? Well, like really late to the party. I feel like these would maybe be good with like daily polls. I gotta get into the book and see what exactly they're saying in the book. But I feel like this is almost like kind of like a daily poll, like where you could pull one card for the day. Look at arsenic. That is freaking cool. That is crazy. I love how they look like worn. Sorry I'm quiet. I'm just really quite like taken with the artwork. It's Mercury. It's beautiful. I wonder if these are the ones. I don't know if these are the ones that line up. Or maybe it's the other one that does. I like the globes with all of the like the different names in them. That is so cool. I feel like I have a lot of learning to do. Oh, see, they do. I thought that they lined up. Oh man, now I'm gonna have to lay these all out and like really check them out. And see like my God. Okay. I'm going to have to like lay them out on my floor now and check that all out. All right. That is really cool. Really like the details, like the drawings. I like the little bit of gold. Like, it's so pretty. And once again, an amazing cardstock. I've heard about their cardstock being like super awesome, so. And the books are so beautiful. Oh, yep. Okay, we got keywords again. Talking about they talk about the mineral or element or metals. Okay, they've got it broken up here. Let's see. So we've got metals, earth metals, transition metals. So it's just all metals, right? Metals, metalloids, nonmetals, halogens, noble gases. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's got everything. Talks a little bit of a write-up about what it is, like what this deck is about. And then right into it. Amazing. Once again, beautiful material that this book is made out of. I love it. I'm like a paper nerd. I love like paper textures and cardstocks and like different things like that. I love it. Like, I'm one of those people that will totally sniff like Xerox copies, like photocopies when they come out. The smell of like the warm ink, the warm paper. Oh my God, it floats my boat, man. Always has, ever since I was a kid. All right, and then here's Supra. I like that they have the dates on the bottom too. So that one was 2016. This is 2018. When was this one? Oh, 2020. Oh, so that one's not even that old. And I think this one has been one of the more popular ones from them. I've seen this one on a lot of people's stuff. It smells weird. All right, here we go. Same beautiful cardstock. I thought I heard someone say that this is a different cardstock. It is not a different cardstock. It's the same. So I don't know if they changed something, but like it's the same cardstock as all the rest. And I'm just gonna flip through these fast and look at them myself because you can find like a million flip throughs on all of these. Oh, so beautiful. I get so much from that card. Animus Anima. Beautiful. Okay, so I just want to go back. So I think it's really interesting because it's like the so it's like the female and the masculine and the feminine. It'd be interesting to get into the book and see what they say about that because that's very interesting. All right. Let's continue on. Everydayness. Love it. Not six, huh? Threshold. Imperfection. Beautiful. Stillness. Oracle. Nothing. Transformation. Awaken. I think these are the ones. Yeah, these are the ones that go together, right? Sageness. Like, look at the detail in the artwork. Just stunning. Yeah, those are the ones that create a circle. So that's really cool how they do that. How they make, like, there are certain cards, they can be obviously used separate or together. I think that's really cool. Primordial. Ego. Yes, it's like, what's that myth? Icarus? And then some sacred geometry. Very neat. All right. Beautiful backs. Like salt, like that salt sprayed look. Really cool. Okay. Pretty sparkly page. Sorry, caught my attention. I'm like shiny. Okay. What do we got here? So they're in different. So we've got art elements, the hidden path, the secret, sacred geometry. All right, I want to see the animus and anima. Yes, so very much carved out of the masculine and gifted to the feminine. This masculine voice no longer delights in the soul of a woman. Very interesting, because I was going to say, like, that's... Any woman is daunting to a man, yet within each man there is a woman they know and whom they invoke in spite of themselves. The female voice holds the creative life, giving keys to their existence. Beautiful. Oh, I have so much to do, so much studying to do, so much learning. All right, let's shuffle them and pull a card from each one. Oh, look at my mat. It just slides all over the place. Oh, yeah. That's nice. It's like spring cleaning. I took all of my altar cloths and everything. They're all being washed. So, like, my table's just down to its bare little wood. And this is, like, sliding all over the place because it doesn't have, like, a grippy back. So it's, like, really quite annoying. Oh, they overhand nice. They shuffle nice. Love them. What beautiful quality. All right, serious. Everybody relax. Oh my gosh. All right, just for one. All right, here we go. What do we get here? So we have in divination, I believe is how you pronounce it. All right, let's look at the book. Are they numbered? No, they're not. All right, let's see. So its keywords is fate, identity, pilgrimage, character, integrity. Oh, it's like fate. It is so sweet. It is here in this moment that we must find ourselves by understanding our psyche and who we are. This vital search for the core, hidden core of our being is the most important act we will ever undertake, as not only will it lead us to our true life in this world, one that is a gentle agreement with all of life, but it'll put us on the pathway to an extraordinary encounter with the future. A place where you have always been because it is the place you had to be and what you will be for all of time. And if you think about it, why wouldn't you want to undertake this quest? Why wouldn't you want to become an absolute part of the universe? Inside of you's that secret that has always existed. It has whispered its intuitive thoughts to you since your first breath and sustained you through your darkest hours. That voice has wisdom beyond any ancient philosophy. It is the wisdom of you, and it summons you to reach the ultimate height of your being, to pull the sword from the sorcerer's stone and claim your destiny. Oh, so cool. Well, neat. Love it. Very strong, deep meanings. That's beautiful. All right, let's shuffle the next one. Let's see what the next card comes forward. All right, this one's a little bit bigger. I'm going to divide it up because it is super springy. These card stocks are insane. Oops, it's a little too much. Yep, that's beauty. Get past that. So, I guess I have like really small hands. I never thought of myself having small hands, but I guess I do. Because I have to stretch. Like these, I have to stretch a little bit for. And I'm not going to bridge because I always screw them up with my freaking nails every time. And these are too brand new for me to destroy quite yet. So I'm just going to shuffle them into small piles until I feel they are shuffled. All right, one card, please. Come on. All right, there we go. Oops. I keep going way too high up, sorry. Is it strontium? Strontium? I'll have to learn all of the different metals because I know some of them, but I don't know. Like there's some in here that I've never even heard of. Okay, so he's an alkaline earth metals. 45. All right, natural, promise keeper, capable protector, example. Strontium is an outstanding supporting pedestal of protection and display, an encouraging partner whose welcoming strength is offered without demands to enhance and propel onward whatever endeavor is asked of him. A trusted confidant, it is impossible to penetrate the protective boundaries he creates around those he loves. His striving force illuminates and identifies the individual road of origins and becoming in all of us. Beautiful. I really like their write-ups in their books. I do find that it would be hard to have some of these decks without the book. I feel like the book is like really quite key to some of these, especially this one. I'm just gonna put it off to the side. All right, let's get into Pagan and the Otherworlds. Let's give it a shuffle and see what it has to say. I think I'm going to take the moon cards out for right now. And I'm going to just break it up into smaller piles, so I don't have to worry about damaging them. Very, very slick. Oh, there we go. Ooh, Temperance. She's so beautiful. Like, just gorgeous. I can zoom my camera in and out, but if I touch it, it bounces around and it goes in and out of focus, and it's just ridiculous. All right, so their keyword is moderation, balance, and patience. When something is right, you can feel it, from flesh to bone, through and through. Temperance radiates as blissful, centering sensation. Embodied as a celestial being, she stands with one foot on land and the other hovering above a small stream that tumbles down a cliff and into a river that flows out towards the sun. In her right hand, she pours that far, far away, sun kissed water from one cup into another, which holds the cold water of the stream. Yellow lilies of innocence cling to her gown and scent the air around her. But this angel is no stranger to pleasure. This is an earthly, womanly angel, a sensual being whose shapely form is delighted in the caressing winds. She gives generously of herself to the world, and the world gives generously back. She knows how to say thank you, to return a favor, to uphold her promises. The wind, water, earth, and heaven rush to meet her, and through her find a strong and supple voice. Beautiful. Just gorgeous. These are slippery little suckers, though, man. They're gonna fly right on my hands. All right. I'm just gonna shuffle like 3-4 cards here. I'm just gonna see. I'm just gonna pick whichever one ends up on top. Let's see what they say in the book. All right, so we got the waxing gibbous. And look, it's got sparkle. See the shimmer? It's so pretty. Waxing gibbous. So correction, potential refinement. The waxing gibbous is the third phase in the lunar cycle, and it is here we can work on refining or adjusting our goals. An event may have occurred that was out of our control, or new opportunities may have arisen, causing us to reprioritize or adjust our plans. Whatever happened, it is not so much of a setback as it is a time of discovering what our limitations are and how we can alter our approach in order to deal with them in a productive way. Very cool. Love it. I don't know if I'm going to mix these in to this deck or if I'm going to leave them out on their own. I haven't quite decided what I want to do with that yet. And honestly, it wouldn't be an Uusi haul if I didn't have this. This just showed up today. And now, besides the Lux that they aren't going to release until September, my Uusi collection is now complete. And this is the Eros Garden of Love. I ended up grabbing this. This is a very lightly loved copy. If I can get the last little card out here. A very lightly loved copy, as in I don't even know if this has even been shuffled. There's not a single mark on it. There's not a single dent, scratch, anything. So I honestly don't even think that this was even used. Look at it. I absolutely love a good Marseille. And this is definitely an amazing Marseille. As most of you know, this is a very adult deck, very mature, probably a rated R. Look at how the chariot, look at how it snakes. Just a really, really cool deck. And I'm excited that I was actually able to get one. Like I said, I tried to, when they just did the re-release of a couple that they had, I tried to grab some for myself, but I was not available to grab it. And by the time I got to their site, they had all been purchased. So luckily I was able to find this one in amazing shape. I think this is a second edition. I think this is a second printing. I believe the printing date on it was 2021, I think. I absolutely love it. I already kind of like flipped through it just to make sure there was no damage done to it before I shot this video. And I absolutely love how he has like a little kitty cat biting his leg. Isn't that funny? And I'm not going to show every single pip. We know what the pips look like, right? So here's our wand suit, which is really cool because it's got all the bondage rope. And then we have our page, our knight, our queen, and our king. And then here's our cups. So here's our ace of cups and then the two of cups. Like just so elegant. Like honestly, to create a dirty deck and to have this much elegance in it, like it's so like it's a classy gal, you know what I mean? Like it's like a high-priced escort. It's so beautiful. It really honestly is. Even if this isn't your cup of tea, it's really quite a gorgeous deck. And it kind of makes you laugh. Like it's a little bit of humor, right? It's a traditional Marseille with the writing on the two. And then we got the two of wands, or sorry, the three of wands, or I'm sorry, the three of swords, four of swords. We know what all they're all very pretty traditional. And then the page of swords, knight of swords, queen of swords, king of swords. And then here's our ace of pentacles. And then the Two of Pentacles, which is embellished and drawn differently, right? It's got more to it, but doesn't have any writing or like script on it. It's a bunch of snakes and some turtles and reptiles and such. And then here's our Page of Coins. Our Knight of Coins with his little fart. The Queen of Coins. And your King of Coins. And then there was these, you know how the Pagan and Otherworlds has the lunar cards? So we have the same thing happening here, but they're just drawn in the same style as this deck, which is really, really neat. Look at how cool, like look at the full moon. He's like winking. And the new moon is super cute. I think it's so funny. If we can get let's see if it can. It's like peeking out through the clouds. They're cute, eh? And then these are interesting because, like, they're reversed. It's really cool. Here's the backs. Just really quite a beautiful traditional deck. Nice cardstock, like the same cardstock that they always have, right? Just amazing. This is such a good purchase. There's not a single mark on it. I don't even think they've been honestly even really used that much. I don't see any like edge damage, nothing. So awesome. Really appreciate it. So Eros, the Garden of Love. And I love how they always add a seeker card. That's really neat. All right, so there you have it. Here's my full Uusi haul. It's amazing. I have all of them now, and I've caught right up, which is amazing. And like I said, I just have to get now the Luxe when it comes out, and I believe its release date is in September. I'm going to go after it, and then I'll have their full collection of their decks because I'm really quite enjoying them. I'm very, very drawn to them. These two I'm doing daily polls from and just getting into the books and really studying them. This has bumped the Ritual Tarot out of its spot on my nightstand. The Ritual Tarot has been on my nightstand for at least we're over 2 months now, and I've been using it for a little over a week now, and I'm bonding very, very, very deep with this deck. The language, the way it speaks to you, its accuracy, the way it comes at you is just phenomenal. And then now I'm going to spend some time with this one. And I know that this is a collector's item, but I'm still going to use it. I'm still going to enjoy it. I'm still going to do readings with it because at the end of the day, I mean, that's what I buy them for. I buy them to use them. So if it's just going to sit on a shelf, then it doesn't, like, I'm not interested in it. So these decks are going to get used, they're going to get loved, they're going to get enjoyed. So that is my whole thing. I also wanted to say thank you to all of my new subscribers as well as the people who've been following me this whole time. I appreciate it so, so much. And I absolutely love and enjoy sharing these videos and talking about these decks and all these wonderful things with like-minded souls. So from the bottom of my heart, I greatly appreciate all of my subscribers. Thank you. That is my Uusi haul. If you enjoyed yourself, like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.